Hey guys, it's Andy, and today I'm going to show you how to use the BLK360. Scanning with the BLK360 is really easy. There's only one button. If I press and hold it, the scanner is going to turn on, and when it turns green, that means it's all ready to go. To take a scan, all we need to do is put the BLK360 up on a tripod and press that same button again, and it's going to start to scan. And then the first thing it's going to do is go around and take all the photographs to create that panoramic image. After it finishes up with that, it's going to start the actual laser scan. Once it finishes up, you'll see the ringer on the bottom turns green again, and that means that it's all done and you can move it to your next spot. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, I thought I needed an iPad Pro to use the BLK360. And the answer is you can use the iPad Pro to remotely start the scanner, but it's not required. There are a couple different apps that you can use to control the BLK360. Currently there are three: Autodesk's Recap Pro for mobile, Leica's BLK app, and the Matterport Capture app. All of these apps run on an iPad Pro. It doesn't matter what screen size or amount of storage that you decide on, but it does have to be an iPad Pro. These apps require processing power that the earlier versions of the iPad, like the iPad Air, just don't have. The BLK itself gives off its own Wi-Fi signal, so you can connect to that with your iPad just like you would any other Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to go into my settings here, and I can see that my BLK360 is listed here. I can click on that, and it's going to connect. If you're connecting to this particular BLK for the first time, it's going to ask you for a password. The password is actually on the BLK, on the inside cover of the battery door. Type it in exactly as you see it, even with the dashes. All right, now I'm connected. So now I can go into one of these apps. I'm going to choose Recap Pro. And you can see I have my projects here. I just created this interior project. And when I go into that, I can see that I am connected to my BLK360. I can see some details like the battery level, the amount of storage that I have left on the device. I can also go into settings and choose between the different scan density settings. I can choose to use HDR or not. And then over on the right hand side, if I click new scan, it's going to remotely start a scan. So the first thing it's going to do is start taking pictures. And while it's doing so, I can actually click on this scan and I can see the pictures come in as it's scanning. Keep in mind, when you scan with the BLK360, it's going to save all that data onto the internal memory of the device itself. If you're using an app to scan, that means all it's doing is copying over the data to the iPad Pro. So if anything ever happens to your project on the iPad, there's no need to worry. All the original data is still on the scanner itself. So you can see the scan has finished up. The ring around the bottom has turned green, which means the scan is done. It's just finishing up transferring over that data here on the iPad, and now that scan is on the iPad. I can then move the scanner to my next position and start a new scan. You can also use these apps to set the push button scan settings for your scanner. There are times when you might not want to have your iPad out on site and connected to the BLK for the entire job. So what you can do is set the settings that you want. I can set the scan density setting and the HDR setting, and then I can disconnect from the iPad, take my scanner out, and then every time I press the button, it'll take a scan with those settings. So that was a quick overview of how to use the BLK360. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.